What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another Oxygen Not Included build video. There's something slightly different about this video, just a teensy little bit different. If you know what that is, put it in the comments below, and you'll win. You're not going to win anything. There's no prize for this, except for you get to comment on the video, and that makes me happy. Anyway, so what we got going here is a hatch farm. Now, I got some notes here. Let me bring these up. I literally have 2 notes on this. That's how professional this is. Anyway, so recently on stream, I've been doing a playthrough with critters only. So I'm trying to make 100% sustainable base on just critters, nothing else. So that's the idea. Is it going to work? Probably not. But in doing so, I realized that, well, in, making this base, I realized that I know very little about like the critters in the game and sort of systems based around the critters to make them function correctly. So my first little setup is kind of a hatch stable, and I wanted to kind of get coal and then, run coal generators and take carbon dioxide, feed it to slicksters, get petroleum and oil and, other things, and then go from there. So first I need to design a hatch stable that works and sustains 8 hatches, because the maximum amount of hatches that you can have in a stable is 8. If we look here, we can see the greenhouse maximum size is 96 tiles. Each of these rooms is 96 tiles. If you go over 8 critters in that 96 tile area, the critters will get the overcrowded debuff and the gloom debuff. And, well, I don't know if they get gloom for being overcrowded, but they'll reproduce less. And we don't want to reproduce less. We just want to keep 8 critters in the stable. Any other hatches will be sent over away somewhere else, and they'll continue to produce 1 egg per cycle, and they'll die off and give us meat and eggshells, and they'll just continue the population. We don't want to kill off any hatches. We want that hatch population to continue to grow. But we also want to generate as much coal as we possibly can. So we need to keep these stables running in pristine condition. And to do so, we need to shuffle eggs out as they're laid. We also need to shuffle eggs in as we need them. So if a stable only has 7 hatches, we're not getting as much coal as we possibly could. So we need to shuffle an egg back in there. So if we have like a hatch die off, for example, and there's no other eggs in there, we'll shuffle an egg in, get another hatch in there, get it growing, you know what I mean? So that's the system we have here. And this is the first one. This is the first mess of a system that I made. You can see it's just, oh my God. Ugh. What is that? To think I almost released this system in a video. Ugh. What's wrong with me? Anyway, but this beauty here, this is the new system. This is the fully functional, perfect. Okay, maybe not perfect, but it works really well. Okay, so what this system is going to do is it's going to cycle eggs out as they're laying, and then it's going to cycle eggs in as our critter population drops below that 8 mark. So let me kind of show you how it works. We'll go ahead and hit play. And then let me enable sandbox, and I'm going to spawn in some hatch eggs here. 1, those are mush bars. Why does this always happen to me? Every time I try and spawn in something, it always gives me mush bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's our 8 number. You can see our critter sensor up at the top. I'm like pointing to it with my finger as if you guys can see where I'm pointing with. But yeah, so you can see the critter sensor up here has gone off. This is our 8 mark. This sensor's like, hey, we've got enough critters in here. We don't need no more critters. Don't send critters. And then if we send critters, this one's like, nope, that's too many. And it picks up at literally every single egg on the ground. Okay, maybe not every egg, but you get the idea. And that's fine, because the system, I forgot to add in the frickin', there we go. All right, so how many do we have in here? There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see it in action here. And there has to be a short delay. The delay is actually too long because I removed the track. So let's put this to 20 seconds is probably too much still, but I'll set it there. And I'll explain the automation later. Just let's watch it for 1 second. So yeah, if there's too many critters in here, it grabs all the eggs. Ideally, there's not going to be 8 eggs, right? We're going to have hatches walking around. Otherwise, nothing would be laying eggs, so the population wouldn't rise above the, you know, whatever it needed. And just a disclaimer here, I'm like new on critters, right, as I mentioned, so I'm not sure if this is overcomplicating everything or not. Like, perhaps I could just have this one little sweeper in here to sweep out any excess eggs, and that might be enough. The population might be stable enough. But if the hatches all lay their eggs and the eggs get swept out and like the hatches all die, they have to be like staggered, right? It's weird. Like a hatch has to die, then an egg has to get laid after that, which would probably be fine, but I'm not sure. So I don't know if just having the sweeper sweeping the eggs out is actually a stable system. And I didn't really want to wait around for 100 cycles. Yeah, I don't know if it would actually sustain itself without all this automation, but better safe than sorry, as they say. All right, yeah, so the system sweeps all of the eggs out. Whenever the population goes above 8, it sweeps all of the eggs out, and then this system up here will rotate one egg in at a time until we hit our limit, which is 8, and then it'll shut off. And it'll continue to do that forever. So we have a system that will keep the stables at 8. That's exactly what we need. So let's go over how it works. So here's the automation. Now I've only got one side set up because, well, that's all I need to explain, right? But this is sort of just a mirrored, it would just be a mirrored system pretty much. So yeah. The only automation we have down here is one critter sensor set at 8 critters. Now, the way critter sensors work is they only send a positive output signal or an activated signal if the critters are above what you have them set at here. So this critter sensor is only going to go off when there's 9 critters and or eggs. A combination of both critters and eggs is what it counts. When we go above that number, so when we hit 9, it'll turn on the sweeper. The sweeper is going to grab like 9 eggs. Okay, not that many. It's going to grab like 5 eggs and just sweep them all out if they're there. Like I said before, though, we're probably not going to have that much eggs because eggs are just going to drop like one at a time, right? And then the population limit's going to rise to 9. Sweeper's going to take that 1 egg. Population's going to drop. Sweeper's going to turn off. Now, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Obviously, it goes to a conveyor loader here, which gets shipped up. You know, it's joined with this one. It gets shipped up to this conveyor chute right here. Now, this is the complicated automation. It's not very complicated, but I might make it more complicated by trying to explain it. I don't think I'm very good at explaining how automation works, but I'm going to go for it because what would be the point otherwise? Okay, so our eggs come up here, and they just sit here at this auto sweeper. Now, currently, the auto sweeper has nothing to deliver to because there's doors blocking it. It can't deliver to these storage bins, which is what it's going to want to. The reason we need the storage bins is because, like before, the sweeper will pick up 5 eggs at a time. You know, we don't want to deliver 5 eggs to the storage bin. We just want to send 1 egg in at a time. Now, originally, I tried to do this by opening and closing the door really fast, which kind of worked sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But then I came up with this idea. We just take a smart storage and we set it to a capacity of 1 kilogram. Now, eggs actually weigh 2 kilograms, but look at the properties, they actually weigh 2 kilograms. But if you have it set to 2 kilograms, it'll deliver 2 eggs to the storage bin. You know, that's just how it works. So we need to set it to 1 kilogram. And then once this storage bin is full, it will send a signal to close the door. That way, you know, once we take that egg out of the storage bin, the sweeper cannot deliver more eggs until we know that we need more. And then the egg gets shipped off into the room and the cycle resets. So let me explain how it goes. So we have our critter sensor here set to 7. Yeah, when this drops below 7, it's gonna trigger a positive, and that's because we have it on a NOT gate. So like I was saying, the critter sensors only send a positive signal when they go above the amount you have set, but we need to detect when we've dropped below that amount. So we have to flip it around with a NOT gate, reverse the signal, and then the NOT gate goes into the active port of a memory toggle, which goes into a filter gate, which goes into one side of an AND gate. The other side, the reset on the memory toggle, goes to the smart storage. So smart storages will send an active signal when full and a deactive signal or a negative signal, whatever, when not full. So whenever 1 egg gets delivered to this, it's going to reset the memory toggle, closing the door. And then the filter gate is just to delay the door from opening right away. You know, once the storage isn't full anymore. And we're going to allow that egg time to travel the track and drop into the room and trigger the critter sensor. So once we actually have our 8 critters in this room, this critter sensor is going to activate and send a negative signal to the other side of the AND gate, stopping the whole process. Because the way an AND gate works, both sides have to be active to send an output or to send an activated output. And we have that the output of that AND gate connected to the door. So this door is never going to open if we have 8 critters in this room. That way, you know, we don't get any accidental eggs delivered to the storage container. Yeah, so critter sensor drops below the certain amount, sends a signal to the memory toggle, triggering the door to open. Egg gets delivered. Door shuts. Filter gate is ticking down here. Egg gets delivered down. We're still not at 8, so we'll wait a second. Filter gate opens the door again, sends another egg, and system repeats until we get 8 eggs in here, at which point this critter sensor will go off. We'll just kind of wait for that. Now, once you have like a stable population in the stable, it will kind of work a lot quicker because we're only going to be shuffling like 1 egg at a time. You know what I mean? We're not going to have to sit here and wait for like 5 eggs to be delivered because we're going to have a nice little population in there growing. Unless all the hatches like die off at once or something. Yeah, so one thing I don't have currently is a system to move the eggs or move the meat and eggshells out of the stable rooms. That wouldn't be too hard to set up, but I imagine you're going to have doors in there anyway, and your duplicants are going to be able to access that because, you know, they're going to have to groom the hatches to keep them happy. So duplicants can actually go in and just pick that stuff up. But if you wanted to, you could put a door in front of these, add another loader for a second, or add another loader for meat and eggs, you know, somewhere around here, and then change it so the automation opens the door when there's more than 8 instead of turns on the sweeper. That way the sweeper will deliver the eggs and the meat to the other conveyor loader, which you can, you know, ship wherever you want. And then it will open the door when the population goes up. And that way, you know, you could set this a higher priority so that the auto sweeper will grab the eggs and deliver to this when the door is open. Yeah, and then the auto sweepers will be on at all times and only deliver to the loader when there's above the amount. You get it. And then up here, the final thing is we have a loader up here for meat and eggs and things to be shipped off to wherever, because we are going to have a huge population of hatches up here. This is going to be the excess hatch area, right? And, you know, any eggs that get laid are going to get dropped up here. Those hatches, they're not going to be fed. They're not going to be groomed or anything like that. So they're just going to produce 1 egg per cycle, and then they're going to die. And they're going to give you meat and eggshells. So we need to ship those eggshells and meat somewhere else. But yeah, that's the system. Worked out pretty well. Really glad I decided to redo the video. I already had this video uploaded with this turd right here. And I woke up this morning and I was like, I just can't release that video. It's just not good enough. So we had this idea with the smart storage bins and we implemented, and I'm glad we did because it turned out epic. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. You can check me out live at twitch.tv/JukeByLive. Please do come visit. I would love to have you. Ask me any questions you want, literally anything at all. Just keep it clean, okay? Keep it clean, kids. This is a family-friendly stream. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. But, you know, you're going to make me really sad. No, I'm joking. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or anything like that. All relevant links are in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.